Founder of JCI Lebanon, and 2006 JCI Lebanon President, 2008 Vice President for the Europe countries, 2009 North Africa and Middle East Development Chairman, 2010 United Nations Commissioner, and for the 2011 elected as the Executive Vice President, considered as the second position, most important position in the organization on the international level. Rami Majzoub, you are welcome on stage.
Thank you very much, Andre, for this nice introduction. Your Excellency, Mr. Nehmat Frem, JCI International Vice President Rania Haddad, JCI Lebanon President beloved Olga, dear members of the JCI Lebanon National Board, JCI Vice President, and your members of the board, dear member of JCI Syria, representing JCI Syria here, Senator Rami Majzoub, my good friends, Dr. Munzer Fadfad, Ms. Maha Addoura, President Philippe Scarf from Beirut Cedars Rotary Club, and all our fellow Rotarians, dear colleagues from the LAU, you are all welcome. Thank you all for being with us tonight. I would like to start by telling you a small anecdote. 5 years ago, I was attending one of those nice European conferences which you had the chance to see from on the screen. The slogan of this conference was, "Everything is possible." And when I look at all of you tonight, I could tell you that the slogan was never more true than now. Seeing all of you now in the situation, after I got so many calls, after I got the hotel itself calling the organizers, the great work done by the organizers, and Andre telling, why don't you guys cancel? After all the calls we received, and despite all of this, we are all so numerous, so everything is possible in this country. So thank you very much for being here. Everything is possible also because a bit more than 10 years ago, we started with some of the founders here. My dear friend Senator Khaled was here among us, Khaled Bassari, fellow co-founder from JCI Lebanon. And we started knocking doors. We were a handful, we were a bunch of friends who had a vision. We had a vision for a better Lebanon, for a free of confession Lebanon, just working for the welfare of community. And we started knocking doors just to take a small paper, a paper that we call Al-Mukhabar. And back then, many of you might remember, it was the late 90s, beginning of the 2000s. Back then, there was no authorization for Al-Mukhabar like now, because everyone was saying that, hey, what about maybe you're a cover for any of the political organization? And whenever we were knocking on doors, then we were saying, okay, maybe I can give you the Al-Mukhabar, but why don't you take this 100 militants or so who can join you? This is, of course, not what we wanted. So we were not taken seriously, but yet we remained patient. And eventually, those who were 20 years old became 25 years to 30 years old, and they were started being taken a bit more seriously. Eventually, we got this famous Al-Mukhabar, and even more. We got to be endorsed by any minister we want. And you know what? Because simply we were able to follow the famous saying, which we didn't come up with, but ask not what this someone can do for you, ask what you can do for this someone. Whenever we were knocking on any minister door or any organization door, we were saying, we are here, we have a solution for you. And then everyone was so happy to meet us, and everyone was willing to support us because we were coming and providing solutions. This is what JCI is all about. This is what the concept, the philosophy of active citizenship that we like is all about. And this is what tonight's gathering is all about. This is a fantastic lesson. Tonight, I would like to tell you that, can you imagine, I mean, oddly enough, and yet I see this not really as a paradox, but as a positive thing. At the time where everyone is coming to find a solution for Lebanon, we have the ambassador of Turkey among us, and I welcome him, Mr. Inan, and Turkey was one of those who tried to find a solution, along with so many countries. And they are all here to try to help us, and yet we have an international vice president and an executive vice president roaming the world themselves to help other countries. What a wonderful thing. Lebanese helping other countries while their beloved Lebanon is being helped. And for the little anecdote also, I would like to say to His Excellency Ambassador Inan that in 2008 I had the privilege to be assigned to be a vice president. One of the countries under my responsibility was JCI Turkey. And I went there, and there were some issues between different chapters of JCI Turkey, and I modestly tried to help sorting out themselves. So thank you, Turkey, for now trying to help us in your turn. So I mean, morality of the story, by being an active citizen, we as Lebanese, we are being ambassadors of our country. We are being taken very seriously. Why don't we try to adapt this concept to ourselves here? Why don't we try to give a good example? And in that context, I would like to tell you something. I'm always often asked by media, is JCI a political organization? This is something which is very frequent. Every one of these officers here at JCI have already been asked this question on TV appearances or other official events. And our answer is simply, JCI is not a political organization, and yet it is a political organization by excellence. Why? Because before being a politician needs to be an active citizen, needs to know the ABC of good protocol and of respect to the other and not interrupting the other. And this is what we preach at JCI. Active citizenship is also among a synergy story. I'm very happy that today we have a representative from the public sector, official from the government, from the private sector, business owners, and we have, of course, NGOs like JCI. It's all about those three coming together in full synergy for the welfare of the community to do projects like the one which was mentioned by JCI Lebanon President Olka, to train entrepreneurs or others. So let's all work together, hand in hand, gather the public sector, the private sector, and the NGOs for the welfare of community. Let's go all together, impact the world, make it a better community for our world and for our Lebanon, for the future of Lebanon, and for the future of our children. Let's go impact our communities. Thank you very much for all being here tonight.